Hey, everybody. So, this was probably the oldest book that we read. It was written in 1888. Oh my gosh, that is well over 100 years ago. And it's been retold so many times. It was originally written by Ernest Thayer, and he was from Massachusetts. He was from Holliston, Massachusetts, and Worcester, Massachusetts. So, a lot of people in Holliston say this book is about there. He also lived in Stockton, California, and a lot of people say that this book was set here. And some people even say it might have been set at Newport, down at Cardines Field, because Cardines Field is one of the oldest baseball diamonds in America. Who knows? The author says it's fictitious, which means he made it up, but it's lots of fun to imagine it might have been right here in Newport. Casey at the Bat, a ballad of the Republic, sung in the year 1888. Casey at the Bat. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2 with one inning left to play. Then when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a sickly silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought if only Casey could get a whack at that, we'd put even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, also did Jimmy Blake. And the former was a Lulu, and the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim melancholy sat, but there seemed but little chance of Casey's getting to the bat. So the two guys in front of him, not so good. I think Casey, even though he's a good player, might not get a chance. But Flynn let drive a single to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted and the men saw what occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a huggin' third. Then from 5,000 throats and more there rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley and it rattled through the dell. It knocked upon the mountains and it recoiled upon the flat. For Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was an ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearings and a smile on Casey's face. And then, responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger to the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applaud him when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance gleamed in Casey's eyes, a sneer crossed Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching in haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman and the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the bleachers, black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves upon a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone in the stand. It's likely they would have killed him, had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult and bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher. Once more the spheroid flew, but Casey still ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" So he's a great player, but he's purposely letting the balls go by him because those aren't his style. Sometimes if you're a little too confident, you might end up in trouble. Now it's coming down to one pitch. Fraud! The maddening crowd confounds, and echoed answered, fraud! But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and coiled. They saw his muscles strain. They knew that mighty Casey would not let the ball go by again. Talk about pressure. Getting to that last pitch. The sneer is gone from Casey's lips. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence, his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Let's see if he's as good as he said. Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere some hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. He let two of them go. Tried his best on the last try, but that's why you should take advantage of every chance you get. Casey at the bat. It also won the Caldecott Medal for best illustrations for collage. A lot of old newspapers collage together you make these really cool pictures. So sometimes poems like that are hard to understand every word, but if you just sit down and let the words wash around you and really just listen, you get the idea, even though the words are really big. All right, guys, take care. Bye.